Looks like we made it here in one piece. Did we really just spend that much money? Oh, that's a good way to stay thrifty. Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elda Menancia a place where Dahnans and Renans can coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without putting in the work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
I know what I want to say, but I can't help but wonder if I'm being selfish.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say, though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
What, you didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up. If you need more convincing, I've got plenty more stories about him.
Maybe another time.
Don't worry. Once I finish folding these clothes, I'll go to sleep. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancia's.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. Get lost!
Dragon Form! Vacuum Blade!
How about this? Lunar
Rising Wyvern!
Lunar
Elusive Take this!
It's a duel of the arts!
I've got plenty to go around.
Vacuum Blade!
Tiger Blade!
Flying freezing! Why can't they just sit still?
I'm ready! Take care of them!
No sooner said than done.
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack.
Indeed, but remain ever vigilant.
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here!
Dragon Form! Vacuum Blade!
I'm ready!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo! Soaring Light Spear!
A victory for the ages.
Dragon Form! There! Elusive Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
You have to aim for the bright area on their back.
Right here. I got it.
Not just a dream.
Dragon Form! Its armor stays strong!
Then I'll split it open!
Be my guest! Dragon Form! Vacuum Blade!
The tide of battle has
That's my
turned in our
cue.
favor.
Then let's keep pressing
Shut
the
him down.
attack.
Indeed,
Dragon
but
Form!
remain ever vigilant.
I'm stopping. Charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
Vacuum Blade! Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on... I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire!
Going in.
Elusive Deity! Dragon Form!
Our next
I'm ready! In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Finally timed waltz.
Dragon Form!
Here's evil.
Rending you apart!
Bloody! Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Now you see what I can do!
Lunar corruption!
Aw, too shy to come over! Here!
Their hide is thick as armor!
Lunar Rumble!
How about this?
Soaring Light Spear! Come back in their defense!
Glad you had your uses! Redwell, astral energy! Full throttle!
Begin! Dragon form! There! Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rumble!
Can you
take it? Dragon form!
Tiger Blade!
Ignite! Elusive
Do it! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Take this!
Not by a long shot!
Be careful not to overdo it.
Tiger Blade!
Lunar Rumble!
Inferno Focus!
Damn it! I'm ready! I'm knocked up! Stalagmite!
Aw,
Dragon
too shy to
form!
come over! Here,
Vacuum
let me
blade!
help!
That extra training paid off.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much. Retreat if you know what's good for you. I shall ensure you survive this.
Rising Wyvern!
Graviton Spear! Mega Ray!
Lunar Rumble! Soaring Light Spear! We got flyers!
I've got this! Let him
The
march
enemy
me!
is on too.
You'll think...
All yours!
A scream.
Lunar
Dragon
corruption!
form!
Lunar
Vacuum
Blast!
blade!
To the fray! Mega
Rising
Ray!
Wyvern!
Lightning!
Lunar Rondo! Soaring Light Spear!
Make it rain!
It's over! Dragon form! Bloody hell!
Nicely done.
Get lost! Confiscated! Mega Ray!
Going in! Inferno Crusher!
If it cools up, time to get out of the way! Dragon form!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
There! Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo! Dragon form!
Dare strike me from
You're
behind?
mine!
Stalagmite! A scream.
I never miss!
Rending you apart.
Here goes!
Bloody howler.
Here, let me help!
Dragon form! Vacuum blade! Rising
Mega
Wyvern!
Ray!
Lunar Rondo!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
Dragon form! There! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Well, looky here! My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Shion?
Out of my way! Flaming Meteor!
Break this now.
Ground and pound!
Dragon form!
Inferno
Vacuum
Crusher!
blade!
The bigger they are, the harder they fall!
Spear!
Time to shine!
Rising
Go
Eagle
for the weak point!
Thrust!
Do it!
Dragon form!
Time to shine!
There! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Take this! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We can really make weapons with this?
Coming through!
Dragon form!
Days of blood!
Down!
Rending you apart!
This one's mine!
Come and face me!
I'll face you!
Luna Rondo!
Take cover when it curls up!
Soaring light spear!
Blood!
Rising rocket!
Bloody howling!
Inferno cluster!
Dragon form!
Excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
That's not to give me any
See what I
idea.
can do!
Crescent moon!
There! Rising wyvern! Take this!
By the power
Laser
of
Rondo!
I think we can get through this.
Spear!
Don't let up until it's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
Negative gate!
Dragon form! Dragon form!
That could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Rising wyvern!
I'm ready!
Do it!
Rising Dohalim! In an instant! Impact block!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Let me help!
Dragon form!
I'm grateful.
Piercing blade!
Begin!
I'll take you all on!
Inferno cluster!
Are those rockets?
Luna Rondo!
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Look sharp!
Rising Falcon! Blue escape!
Tiger blade!
We did it!
In here!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Water, hear my call! How about this? Spread!
This one keeps charging us!
Here's evil!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Send the ray! By the power of water!
Resonate with the earth.
Dragon form!
By the power of water!
Temperature!
Aqua!
Dragon form!
Here, let me help! First aid!
Now I can let loose! Dragon form! There!
Here's a healing arc!
Rising
Resonate
wyvern!
with the
Luna
earth.
Rondo!
Stalagmite!
Radiant pierce! Flaming meteor!
Dragon form! There!
On guard!
Rising wyvern! Luna Rondo!
I'm ready!
Here, let me help!
I never miss! This one's mine!
Dragon form! Vacuum blade!
Blood!
Hear my
Rending
call!
you apart!
Rising wyvern!
Howling!
Frozen field! Here's
Dragon
evil!
form! Vacuum blade!
Captivity!
Rising wyvern! Luna Rondo!
Back into the fray!
Take this! Strike!
Going in!
Soaring light spear! Luna
I'm
Rondo!
ready!
Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
We got...
Some good equipment! I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Out of our way!
Armor won't save you!
This one's mine!
There!
Rending you apart!
Rising wyvern! Luna Rondo!
Glacial spear!
Rising falcon!
Inferno cluster! Going in!
Dragon form! There!
Gemini Aqua!
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
Luna Rondo! Soaring light spear! Take this! I'm not done!
Lunar
There!
corruption!
Shield and make!
Rising
power
wyvern!
of water!
Luna Rondo!
Thank goodness we won.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Swarm!
Look sharp!
Vacuum blade!
Negative crossing! Not on my watch!
On your knees.
Gemini
Rising
Aqua!
Wiper! Luna Rondo! Soaring Light Spear!
Gemini Aqua!
Bloody
I'm not
hell!
done!
Get behind me!
Luna Rondo!
Meteor!
Soaring Light Spear! Rising Falcon! My turn!
This one's
Here
mine!
goes!
Do it! First!
Take this!
Igneous!
I'm not done!
Mega Ray!
Dragon Swarm! There!
On your knees.
We turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
You're mine!
Bloody howling!
That's what I like to hear.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promise.
Which one is it?
Let's see what you've got.
Switch down!
Dragon Swarm!
Now you see what I can do! Benediction light.
Here!
Vacuum blade!
Lion power!
Rising
Make
Wiper!
it real weak point! Bridwell!
Frozen?
Hammer!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Let's see what you've got.
Dragon Swarm!
Going in!
Come one, come all!
Gemini Aqua!
Rising Wiper!
By the power of
Luna
water!
Rondo!
Gemini Aqua! On guard!
Dragon Swarm!
Inferno crossing! Anything in armor is all mine! Here, try to help!
Swarm! Vacuum blade! Rising Wiper! Luna Rondo!
This one's mine!
Soaring Light Spear!
Gemini Aqua!
Here I come! Move it!
Power of
Not
water!
Not in your dreams.
Mega Ray! I'm all stopped up!
Green baby
This
blood.
one's mine! Rending you all!
Bloody howling!
Dragon Swarm! There!
Lion
Rising
power!
Wiper!
Here!
Luna Rondo!
I'm
Ready!
ready!
Spear! Doubly! In an instant! Impact Block!
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Dragon Swarm! Vacuum
Do
blade!
it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
By the
Dragon
power of water!
Swarm! There! Catapult! Rising Wiper!
No complaints from me.
Let's see what you've got.
Glacial Spear!
Piercing
Look
blocking.
Thank you.
Vacuum blade!
Free Blazer!
Rising Wiper!
Hurricane Strike! Radiant Pierce!
Reflect on thy
Dragon Swarm!
Take my
Radiant
Vacuum
Blade!
blade!
Ready! Do it!
Rising Wyvern!
Shion! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Not by a long shot!
Vacuum blade!
Mega Ray!
Rising
Inferno
Wiper!
Here
crossing!
goes!
elusive deity.
Make it ready!
Spear!
Pierce!
Doubly! In an instant! Impact Block!
Together, there is nothing that can stop us.
Indeed. As one, we are unrivaled.
And that is our greatest strength.
for the weak spot!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Negative damage! Not done!
Rending you apart.
Vacuum blade!
Bloody howling.
Rising Wyvern!
Use its weak form to take it down.
All together, everyone!
You picked the wrong fight!
Lunar Blast! Inferno Crossing!
Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going?
There!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over!
Who said anything about letting off?
Soaring light
Do it!
spear!
Look sharp!
Rising Falcon!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action.
Any injuries?
Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well. We seem to have come across something a little
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
By the power of water!
Elusive seeing! Vacuum blade! Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo! Rising Falcon!
rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Dragon Swarm!
Here's the evil!
There!
Freeze laser!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo! It's on!
Like moths to the flame.
Dragon Swarm!
Hang flight! Here I
There!
come!
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Grenade!
Soaring Light Spear!
Water! Here's my
Rising
call!
Falcon!
This one's
Lunar
yours!
Escape!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
On guard!
Igneous! I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Molotov!
Here I
Dragon
go!
Swarm!
You're mine! Hurricane Strike!
Rising Wyvern!
Let the
Lunar
monster
Rondo!
handle this! Crystal Ray! Hurricane
Take this!
Strike! Look sharp!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it! Hang Strike! Ringwell! Frozen!
Hammer!
Radiant Pierce! Round and pound!
Vacuum Blade!
Do it! Igneous! Discard! This one's got your name on it!
action to action.
I've been doing really great lately. That's far enough!
Don't mind if I do!
Igneous Discharge!
Dragon Swarm! There!
Here's the new
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo! Soaring Light Spear!
I'm ready!
She opens! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
Nope.
Mega Ray!
Dragon Swarm! Vacuum Blade!
Here goes!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
Hurricane
Soaring
Strike!
Light Spear! Take this!
Lightning!
Rising Falcon!
Lunar Corruption!
Rising Wyvern!
Gemini Aqua!
Soaring Light Spear!
Inferno
Lunar Rondo! You're mine!
Hurricane Strike!
My head's spinning to death! Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
The Oath of the Renans, number 7.
Always replenish your stomach after a battle.
That certainly explains a lot about Balls.
Stuck
Inferno crossing!
There!
Elusive skill!
Mega ray!
Benediction light.
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
Hurricane strike! Lunar
Soaring Light Spear!
Lunar
Exploit the enemy's
Almost
weakness.
done! Lunar Rondo!
Negative
Soaring
J
Light
Glacier
Spear!
Storm.
Resonate with the
earth. Stalagmite. On your knees.
Dragon Form!
Hurricane strike!
There!
This one's mine!
Wide open!
Won't escape
Lunar
me.
Rondo!
Lunar crossing! This one's
You're
mine!
mine! No escape!
Hurricane
Vacuum Blade!
going in!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
Kizara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble!
No complaints from me. Finally. If only we could have flown with...
Always love the sound of hammers banging. Way. I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
Oh, but if only I could soar the skies like you, my friend.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
I'll see you again tomorrow.
Hootle and I couldn't eat another bite.
Keep feeding him like that, and he'll be too heavy to fly soon.
We've reached our destination.
Guess I misread the landing.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared!
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zeugles?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Grounded
Blade! Elusive deity!
Rising Rider! Lunar Rocker!
Let's keep up the pressure! Russia!
Rising Falcon!
Can you take it?
Hurricane strike!
Rising Form!
Assault!
Vacuum Blade!
Taste it!
Rising
Fire
Rider!
ray!
Lunar Rongo!
By the power
You're
of water!
mine! Crush!
Hurricane Strike!
Rising Spear!
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Resonate Blade! Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Corruption! This one's
Lunar
mine!
Rongo!
Gemini Aqua!
Rising Falcon!
Bloody howling!
I'm not
Power
done!
of water!
My head's spinning just watching you.
Dragon Swarm!
By the power of water!
If we can...
This ends now! Lunar Rongo!
Lunar Corruption!
Soaring Light Spear!
Hurricane Power of
Rising
water!
Falcon!
Beast the sun! Gemini Aqua!
You're finished!
I never miss!
Come and face me!
Here! Get one! Lunar
Dragon
Corruption
Swarm!
first! Lunar Blast!
Piercing Blade!
Hurricane Strike!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rongo! Dragon Swarm!
Everlasting shock!
Here I come!
Eagle Wave!
Catapult! Dragon Swarm! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Magna Ray!
I'll face you!
Shield and mate! Piercing roar!
Lunar
Dragon
Corruption!
Swarm!
Beast Assault!
Vacuum Blade!
Magna Ray! Lightning!
Rising Wyvern!
Time to die!
Lunar Rongo!
Hurricane Strike!
Bloody
Dragon Swarm!
The shadow! Lightning! Hurricane Strike! Here's a healer!
Dragon Swarm!
Mine! First aid!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rongo! Soaring Light Spear!
Hear my call!
It's over!
Here's
Rising
evil!
Falcon!
Going in! Freeze laser! Hurricane Strike! Beast Assault! Water, hear my call! Spread! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Rotating Pile Driver!
Freeze Lancer!
Dragon Swarm!
Resonate with the earth!
Vacuum Blade!
Tiger Blade!
Rising Wyvern!
Use its weak point to take it
Lunar
down!
Rongo!
All together, everybody!
Light Spear! Rising Falcon!
Laser Spear! Here's evil! Do it!
Outfit! In an instant! Impact Block!
Here come more!
You'll just have to keep fighting!
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here!
A banana, let's go!
Benediction light.
Dragon Swarm!
In here!
Vacuum
Do
Blade!
it!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope there is improvement.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Sion actually look flustered.
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
What our friends for is to depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
I'm expert, coming through!
Dragon Swarm!
Let me help!
Here I come! Okay, here I go!
You're mine!
Now!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Here's a healing art! Not in your dream! First aid! Raging cascade!
Stand!
Sleep now!
Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rongo!
Magic is in! Here goes!
Where are you going? Okay, not a problem. Not on my watch. Archie!
Dragon Swarm! Begin! Dragon Blade! I'll blind you with Rising Viper! Dance on the wind! Lunarondo!
Do it!
Right Spear!
They're all
Double
coming
it! In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Don't mind if I do. Bronze and
Dragon Swarm! Dance!
Reflect on that sting.
Rising Viper!
Might with
Lunarondo!
sealed. More attack.
Blow them away!
The water will creep up. By the
Dragon Swarm!
By the power of water. In here. I'll be saving this one. There. One more.
Try harder! Now!
The waters of creation.
Elusive deity!
In here.
Everlasting
Lunar
star.
corruption. Let's get you all tucked away. Hit.
I'll thank you! Dragon Swarm! Vacuum Blade!
I'll
blind you with a Rising Viper! Dance on the wind!
Here's a healing arm.
Do without the pain! No further.
Feel.
This has a most peculiar taste. No thought shall break benediction light.
Showtime.
Heal!
Glacial Spear.
Not done
Here's
yet.
evil. Waterfall. Sleep now. I'll be saving you this one.
Seismic Rupture!
Magic
Dragon Swarm!
Tidal Wave.
There! Rising Viper! Lunarondo!
There you go. Don't let up. Do it.
Rising Falcon! Double me! In an instant! Impact Block!
Benediction light.
First aid. It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alphen!
Watch and learn! That's enough! Go back down!
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
I can feel my power growing!
Hey, is that it over there?
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
You better not come back! Got it? We finally made it. What do you say we check back in on the ranch? It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Shion? Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own? Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
they will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Kelvin?
Living for the sake of dying is
no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alphen.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen! We can fight this! We'll fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some... The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember.
Right. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that,
You know,
can you blame when one especially when
Dohalim?
I imagine. As for what the
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, that? Now it...
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion...
Yeah.
Shion doesn't know.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. She really needed...
I just want those thorns.
You can say that again. I have my own dreams.
Agreed.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, it's like I can...
You and me both.
You?
That's what I...
At least you figured...
I don't think we're out of the wood.
Yeah, with...
I know.
Hey, you...
Zephyr,
I guess he couldn't...
Law.
Sorry. We'll need all our strength... Probably...
Yeah, Can't sleep?
After everything
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time
I know.
she was so...
I'm sure it...
You...
Yeah, I do. You were a good friend to...
Yeah, when you think about... But over time... No, I think it'd be...
Rinwell. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the Blazing Sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then, I realized... I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, She's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or some existence, huh? I thought things couldn't get... Is it any wonder I lacked it? Sure, I survived. And that's when it hit me.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
You say it's your
Are you crazy?
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
Weiss, that's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that'd mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.